Okay, I am hoping that some people pop on. It's kind of hard to tell, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we only have so much time here. Um, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And I'm going to share my screen here and we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see things. That is not what I want to show you. Da, da, da. Let's see here. Technology is fun. Maybe I will stop recording for a second. If anybody pops on, say hello. If anybody's joining me, say hello. I want to share. Hey. All right. Is there anybody on? Let's see. Okay. Well, apparently I'm still recording. Maybe I can trim this. Okay. We are going to go ahead and just get started. And if you guys pop on, please say hello. And if you want to share this with somebody, please let me know. I will provide you with the recording. Hopefully, I can cut out the first few minutes of me doing nothing. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm like so excited to be able to do this for you. Um, Oh, hold on. I guess there's people in the waiting room. Let me see. I am not. Where is the waiting room? Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna pause my record. Hello, hello. Let's try this again, folks. Okay. Technology is fun. All right. So I am so excited to be doing this for you guys. We are going to do a series of kind of lunch and learns like this. And if you are not able to join live, no worries at all. I am recording so I can provide you with this. But my intention was for you guys to hear kind of my perspective on these new products as a dietitian, and I'm pretty excited about it. So here I am today sharing with you guys. So we are going to be talking about Rise, Zyia Rise AM. So that's our product spotlight today. Um, but before we do that, let's talk a little bit about me. So in case anybody is kind of new to me or Zyia, um, you may know me as your Zyia rep. But before all of that, I was a whole lot more, right? So I went to culinary school despite wanting to be a poet or a writer. I was highly encouraged to go to culinary school, which I did, and it was tons of fun. Um, but my second year of college is kind of when you're making a decision on what you want to do for the rest of college. And I knew that I didn't really want to be a restaurant manager. I wanted to have a family and I really didn't want to have like the long nights at a hotel or restaurant. And I was taking a nutrition class at the time, and something just kind of clicked. Um, I grew up in a farm area. I have a health conscientious family, lots of whole food, that kind of thing. So, kind of everything fell together, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be my jam. So, uh, after the 2 years in culinary school in Charleston, which is a lovely place. I went on to school in Syracuse and I got my bachelor's degree there. And I started to work, and along the line, I kind of um, figured out that people really had kind of a disparity and lack of knowledge about diabetes, and I saw a great need there for the population of people that I was working with at the time. And I had a great job that supported me in the very long process of becoming a diabetes educator. So I did that. And then, during COVID, we all went a little COVID crazy. My crazy was I thought maybe I'd become an herbalist on top of that, because you know, trying to homeschool five little kids wasn't enough, right? But I really did find a way to kind of, combine all of my loves and passions and knowledge, with cooking and nutrition and, whole foods, herbs, that kind of thing all together. So that's kind of how I like to practice nutrition. And then, the last picture of me there is the mom, right? So we all wear a lot of different hats, and even in one day. So I have five kiddos, ages 10 to 18. So we are doing all of the things, right? So lots of sports, and obviously, you know, we're on the go all the time, right? So maybe you are familiar with Zyia and the clothes, or maybe you hopped on because you saw one of my posts and you were kind of curious. But basically, I fell in love with the active wear initially, and I joined because I wanted a discount for my kids, some quality clothes, and with five of them, that's a lot of clothes, right? So I found Zyia through a party where I ordered a pair of joggers, and honestly, I thought it was going to be like a pair of wind pants. And I was pleasantly surprised and kind of fell in love after that. And during my my stint here with Zyia, I've just had so much fun. And yes, the clothes are amazing, but the community is so much more. And I really found a nice way to blend my passions with helping people feel confident, on the outside with their clothes and, making people feel healthier on the inside. So, and it's equally satisfying. All right. So we are going to kind of dive into stuff now. It's a little blurry, but let's go back. So we're going to talk about Rise AM Protein. Okay. So we are going to be doing a series, and this is the first one we're talking about today. And it is going to be drank in the morning. You can certainly have it with water. I tried mine with almond milk, and it was delicious. Um, but in the morning, and there's specific reasons why we want to do it in the morning. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So, what are prebiotics? Well, a lot of people are very confused about prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, all the things, right? So, in Zyia Rise, we have prebiotics, okay? So, the best way to kind of explain things is, how it happens in your gut. So, with the probiotics, um, it is like the live food that you're taking into your body. So that some examples would be like yogurt or kefir. And of course, there's lots of different dietary sources of it. Now, prebiotics are kind of like the food for the probiotics, okay? And we want lots of probiotics in our body to kind of make a good equilibrium in your gut. Okay, so there's good bacteria in there and there's bad bacteria all the time. And it's kind of like a teeter-totter, right? Kind of like my group name, Garmin's Gratitude and Balance. Life is kind of like a teeter-totter. You go up and you go down. But basically, when you get a flux of bad gut bacteria, say from poor diet or illness, you start to have a lot of other health issues, okay? So we always want to be in a balance. So prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics will all kind of work together for your overall health, okay? So we're basically just trying to get good bacteria to thrive more so than the bad. So even though probiotics are good living bacteria, we need those prebiotics that are going to kind of help feed them and help them grow in your gut. Now, postbiotics kind of happen along the other end of the digestive tract, okay? So basically, when the prebiotics and probiotics work together, they produce a little bit of a fermentation process, okay? And they are basically comprised of short chain fatty acids, which are actually good, some dead bacteria, and we actually really need these in our body just to kind of support daily functions, okay? And that's where postbiotics come. So they kind of keep your colon healthy. And now let's go ahead here. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about mushrooms, okay? Now that's a very hot topic these days. There's mushroom coffee and mushroom and supplements, and people are eating mushrooms and taking them orally. But in reality, they've been around for thousands of years, Chinese medicine, okay? So what we know now is that a lot of nutrition supplements that claim to have mushrooms in them actually contain very little amount, or if they do, it's not really in a combination that's beneficial for your health. Okay, so although it's got a lot of hype, we may not have what we're actually trying to achieve in those supplements that are claiming it. So let's see here. So in the Rise, there are a bunch of different kinds of mushrooms, okay? And this is going to help you with your cognitive function. So your brain, thinking processes, your physical performance, your muscle recovery, and your overall immune function and gut health, okay? So Chinese medicine They knew what was going on, right? And this is where all of my herbalism training comes into play because so many of the modern day medications that we have actually derive from plants. And it makes sense, right? Hundreds, thousands of years ago, we didn't have CVS or Walgreens down the street to go get whatever we needed. We didn't have aspirin, it came from a tree and all of that. So, but we know that man has also killed a lot of things along the way, right? So, um, it's been around for a while, but it is very much a hot topic right now. And again, a lot of the things on the market do not have the right balance of those mushrooms in their products. Okay, so in our product, I am so excited about this because it has a synergistic effect with the four types of mushrooms that are in the product. So, first off, there is lion's mane. Let's see, do I want to go ahead? No, not yet. Okay, so we have lion's mane, okay? And some of you may have heard that because it's in a lot of those coffee products that you might have tried. Um, Lion's mane helps support your brain health. It stimulates the production of something called NGF, which is like a nerve growth factor, which actually will help maintain and enhance your memory and focus. Now, I don't know how many of you are middle age like myself and thinking about what's next later on in life, staying sharp, this is something that would be beneficial for you. Okay. It also helps reduce your inflammation and oxidative stress, and it protects the throat. It's called an emollient. So it will kind of soothe and coat your digestive tract. So starting your esophagus down, which means it's really good for your gut health. It also will support your heart health, the circulation, so any sort of cardiac concerns. And we think it has some potential anti-cancer properties. So that's one type of mushroom that is in there. The next is cordyceps. Now, this one's a fun one because I know I'm going to use some scientific words here that may not make sense, but I'm thinking back on my biochem days at Syracuse, and we were talking about the Krebs cycle, ATP, and you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But basically, it is the cycle that our cells go through to deliver energy to our muscles. Okay. We go through this in all daily processes, but so much more so when we are exercising. Okay. So ATP kind of helps deliver that energy, and then it has adaptogenic properties, meaning it will help your body cope to stress. Okay. So when we have this cordyceps extract in a product, it will help your stress level, cortisol levels, and it will also help with your skin health, which is really great. So if you have concerns over hair, skin, nails, this would be good for you. This is also, being researched for anti-cancer properties. So another good mushroom. Let's see. We got a couple other mushrooms in there. I'm trying to remember what the other ones were. Turkey tail and chaga. Okay. So turkey tail and chaga again are two very similar, but when they combine all four of them together in a synergistic kind of way, we are getting what people are trying to get in all of those other supplements, because other supplements do not have the right amount and the four together. So it has a very powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory function. So it's really, really good stuff. Let's see. I think we can go next. Okay, so let's talk about the protein in here and the rest of the makeup of this. So we have grass-fed protein. We talked about prebiotics a little bit already. So there's lots of different protein out there. I don't know if you guys have walked into a GNC or even like your local grocery store or, Walmart or whatever. Everybody's got protein these days. And like, which one do you get? Which one is better? And honestly, it depends a lot on your other health factors, okay? But what I know, and a lot of people that I see, are people that want to lose weight, they want to control their blood sugar levels, or they have some sort of compromised GI function. Okay. And GI could be as little as reflux to, things like IBS, Crohn's, that sort of thing. Um, so it kind of depends, but a lot of people do have compromised GI tracts right now. So the other proteins that are out there are either whey-based, okay, which is a milk product. A lot of people are lactose intolerant or can't tolerate the whey. So this can be harsh on people, creating more issues. There's plant-based proteins out there. Pea proteins are very popular. They are easier for people to digest, but at the same time, if you have a medical issue like an what do I want to say? An immunological issue like rheumatoid arthritis and some other things, it can actually make it worse because there's things in peas called lectins that can kind of increase the inflammation, unfortunately, with certain conditions. So we have a grass-fed protein. Okay, so you're going, okay, what does that mean? It's a beef protein. Okay, and this is actually becoming more popular with athletes, bodybuilders, and so forth. But it is very easily digestible. So this is not going to be a vegetarian product. So if that's what you're looking for, this one is not for you. And I'm sure we can work on something else, but this would not be it for you. But it is broken down. Calorically speaking, it is very low in calories. It's about 1.5 to 2 calories per gram. And it helps you feel fuller longer, and it's not hard to digest. So that is why we have used beef protein. Okay. Let's see, what else do I want to say here? Okay, so I wish this was a little bit brighter, but that's okay. I'm just kind of showing you the label here because I'm walking through all of these different things. And you can see that there's not a laundry list of items here. It's very straightforward and easy to understand. And there might be a couple words down here that you guys don't know, but that's my job to help you with today. Let's see. Okay, so this has the non-dairy protein that your body needs to repair muscle and tissue, and the 10 grams of that mushroom blend that I was talking about before. Here's the mushrooms. Okay, we talked about that. And then it's got some other ingredients in there. Okay, and I want to make sure we talk about that. So people sea salt is another one of those hot topics in kind of like rage. People are having water and sea salt and all of that, or they think they're having sea salt. But a lot of products that are out there, I won't say names. I'm not trying to throw companies underneath the bus, but a lot of times they're actually just table salt. Okay, so you're paying a little bit more for a product that you think is going to have sea salt in it. And you're like, okay, well, why do I even care about sea salt? Right? But it actually has a lot of micronutrients in it, magnesium and iron and stuff like that, that it's kind of hard to get in some foods. Okay, but it also helps with hydration, electrolyte imbalance. So that is one of our ingredients. Tryptophan. Okay, so who has heard of tryptophan? That is like the thing that is in turkey, right? That makes you sleepy, right? Well, yes, that's true. But tryptophan is actually a part of the amino acids in your body. We have essential amino acids and non-essential. Essential you can make within your body. The non-essential we have to get through diet combined with what your body can do. But there's only a few foods that it naturally occurs in. Now, this purpose is not to make you sleepy, but it actually helps with that ATP scientific thing that I was talking about before, but basically energy production and cell renewal. Okay. Green tea. Okay, so green tea is in here for a natural caffeine source. And it is about, I believe it was 90. I don't know if I can see it on here, but it's about the equivalent of a cup of coffee. So if you are a person that needs a little bit of caffeine in the morning, this would be a great alternative. so you can skip that energy drink and do something that's a little bit better for you. Okay, and now fulvic acid. This thing is like my favorite thing to talk about these days as a nutrition nerd. So fulvic acid, what the heck is it? Yes, you can go out and get just plain old fulvic acid in a supplement or capsule. What I like about the way that they put all of these ingredients together is that you are not getting a capsule. I literally just had a conversation with a client about this that has been on a very common probiotic like Align for about 10 years and has a lot of digestive issues, lots of other medications and so forth. But, I kind of said to her, like, you're kind of throwing your money away. And let me show you this because you have a compromised GI tract where things are working really hard to absorb nutrients that you're eating, and you are taking a capsule of a probiotic, okay? And some companies will claim that they have a capsule that will reach your intestines. I'm not really buying it. And here's why. Because you are producing hydrochloric acid to start to break down that capsule. So who is to say that you are getting the full effect of what is inside that capsule by the time it reaches your lower intestine? I don't think you are. Okay, so when you are already working hard, you don't want to add more to your plate. So getting a whole food source like this in a non-capsule form is going to be so much easier on your body. It's going to be a cleaner, more bioavailable form that you're going to readily absorb. Okay, so some people are curious about the efficacy, the safety, and what we have, what we don't have. Last I knew, and this was almost 2 weeks ago, we have 47 certificates of the 60 total ingredients of the ones that we are first rolling out with being certified non-GMO. And they have 13 others pending, and they don't expect them to not be cleared. So we will be a fully non-GMO company, which is fantastic. So none of our products contain erythritol. And if you don't know what erythritol is, it is basically like a sugar alcohol. So it is in some of the chewing gums that we have, but it's also in a lot of products where they say it's 0 calories or low in calories. It's basically used as a sweetener, but it's in a lot of products. And basically, people will end up having a lot of gas, bloating, GI disruptions. Okay. We do use stevia. Okay. And people are like, oh, I don't know if stevia is good, right? Um, some people don't feel like you should have stevia every single day. I think if you have a predisposition to having some GI issues and it continues or worsens, maybe stevia is not a good choice for you every single day. But there isn't an issue clinically having stevia every single day as far as a normal healthy person. So best bet would be to always kind of check with your healthcare practitioner. And I do feel good because it's not stevia like you're getting in a packet that's been, you know, highly, chemicals have been added to it. It's commercialized, broken down, and probably really gross, right? It's coming right from the stevia plant, okay? The little green plant. And because it is such a dense product, you need such a teeny tiny amount to sweeten an item. stevia is also approved by the FDA, the American Heart Association, and the American Diabetes Association. But again, I feel better about this type of stevia versus other stevia that you might buy in the store. We have no gluten, no dairy, no other added sugars, no artificial colors. So this has been like a topic in my house for a really long time. And finally, other people in my family are starting to catch on to that. So we are really watching artificial colors, flavors, and all of that stuff. Okay, so we've got a few more minutes. We want to kind of go through this and then answer questions if people have questions. So We have not yet released it, but it could literally be any day. It could be Wednesday. It could be next week. So there's a couple of different options as far as, trying a product out like this. I have sent out pre-order inquiries and, information through a Google link. If you want that, I can provide that to you. But you can go right on the website. You can order it with the retail price, which is right here. Okay. You can also set up a subscribe and save, which is a 10% discount. And this is a good bargain. Although it's a subscribe and save, you will have complete control over that. So you can pop on, pause it, cancel it, do all the things. Okay. So you're not bound per se to get that every month and not want to pay for it. So that is one option. And then, of course, the best option is to join the lovely ranks of Zyia community with me. This month is $99 only. Okay. And you can get all of your Zyia for 25% off and maybe more, maybe free. You can also have a personal shopping link, or you can have an event, and you can use your rewards towards getting half off or free wellness products, which is really, really exciting. And we will have a customer reward program that is kind of rolling out, but we're still waiting on some details on that. Hopefully I'll have more for you on that next week. Whoops, this does not want to show for me. Okay, so we also have double commissions this month, which, oh, that went way too fast for me. Oh my goodness. Well, if I can pause that. Right now, we do have the capability of making your own kit. That went way too fast. You can choose 3 pieces from the website. You can get a legging, a bra. You can get legging or jogger. You can get a bra, and you can get a tank or top for $99. And then you're going to get that 25% discount on all of your purchases. You can do that for 2 months, completely free. And then you can say, yep, this is for me, or nope, I don't think it is. And you can be done with it too, which is really cool because you get all of the perks. So being a part of Zyia can really be whatever you want it to be, as much or as little. And I am here to run or walk with you. So not only being a part of Zyia is amazing because of the community and all of the personal growth and self-development, we are also at such a really exciting time because we have been a company that has done really well. We have no debt. We have people that shop with us all the time, but our products are amazing and they last. So having this kind of products where people consume them and they use them within their family, it's brand new to us and it's a really exciting time to join. Okay, I'm going to pop out of here and see if I can see you guys and see some chats. Hi, Jill. I couldn't even tell if anybody was here with me. How are you? Good to see you. I'm glad you made it. You didn't need a reminder. That's okay. I'll give you the recording. Now, you and I have been talking a little bit. What did you hear, and did you have any questions?
I literally only got on about 5 or 10 minutes ago.
Well, I will give you the recording. No worries.
Okay.
But I kind of walked through each and every single one of the ingredients and kind of gave my perspective on why I think they were a good choice in this product. I spoke with the formulator. I attended a call, but then he actually entertained my question on the call, which pertained to the fiber choice in this product, which is their blend comes from corn fiber. So a lot of people think corn and then they think high fructose corn syrup, which has a lot of negative connotations to it. So I asked specifically, why did you choose this? And he reassured me that it is non-GMO and it is organic, which is good. Like almost all of our products have been certified at this point, and they will be. But he explained that the corn fiber, it is broken down slower than other types of fiber, like the psyllium, or if you have chia or whole foods or oats in it goes through your system faster. So this creates satiety, meaning that it makes you fuller for longer. meaning you're going to have less cravings. You're also going to have less blood sugar spikes. And those blood sugar spikes is what makes you want chocolate or makes you want that energy drink mid-afternoon. You know what I mean? So having
Yeah.
the protein and then the fiber along with it is going to kind of help you feel fuller longer. And what I was talking about was like, overall reducing inflammation and cortisol and like all of that good stuff that's just going to kind of set you off on a good start.
Good. Okay. And then what flavors is it coming out in?
Right now, it's only in chocolate. I'm hoping they come up with like some other ones, vanilla, but it's phenomenal. It's so
Good.
good. I tried it with water and I tried it with almond milk. I definitely like the thickness of like having milk with it, but if you wanted to, cut a few more calories or whatever, you could do it with water.
Okay.
It's really, really
Um,
tasty. They're
and then
real,
my
all
one,
really tasty.
I wanted you to spell out the word for the fake sugar. I thought it started with an X, but um,
Um, were you talking about like, oh, the plant that I was talking about?
yeah, instead of the stevia where it's the bad sugar.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was, what the heck did I
And
say?
if you need to send it to me later so I
No,
can just watch for that on
no,
boxes.
it's on the tip of my tongue. What the heck did I say? It was stevia, right? There's a
The other word, because stevia is
oh
natural.
the alcohol, the sugar alcohol.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay. When did I say? There's a couple. Uh, what did I say?
I was thinking one of them started with an X, but it didn't sound like.
There's xylitol.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a couple. But yeah, that one's used a lot. So that will be like in your diet Cokes, that will be in like Monster Energy drinks if it's like one of their lower calorie ones, chewing gum, all of that. It creates a lot of gas and bloating in your stomach. And then like all that situation leads to what you missed in the beginning, but I was talking about like gut dysbiosis and your microbiome and that sort of thing.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, and then inflammation and more problems. So
right. Okay, I'll rewatch from the beginning so you don't have to
yeah,
rehash it out.
no worries. Anything else?
Is it on the website now? Because when I looked over the weekend, I just saw the wellness or like the extras, the bath stuff and
Just the bath. So we've got the shower
okay.
steamers, a spray. Um, I'm going to Nashville on Friday for a training, and I'll get to meet the person that has formulated all of these in person. It's either going to be this week or next week. So
Okay.
Wednesday. Within a week. So I know you are contemplating some things and looking at some things. I'm doing the Nourish one on Thursday and then the other two next week, but we can still have a conversation in between if you
Okay.
want. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good to see you. All right. Let me see if there's any other questions. Doesn't look like it right now. All right. Well, I hope this was informative. I will drop in the event the link for more information and the recording when it's all set. And please hit me up. I'm happy to answer some questions. All right. Have a good day.